Hey folks, Marty Nowicki from Impact Snap. Hopefully everyone is staying safe and sound. Hopefully people are finding productive ways to practice at home, distance control with wedges, and how to use the Impact Snap for your short game. And I kind of want to focus on Bryson DeChambeau. Here he is starting in his, what I'll call his impact fix setup, meaning he is setting up in the same position that he's returning to when he hits the golf ball. You can see maybe his left wrist has a tiny bit more flexion at impact, but if I clear all that out, what you'll see are very similar wrist angles. I'd like to focus on the right wrist, and certainly he's got a tiny bit more forward shaft lean at the moment of impact, or right after impact, I should say right before impact. Then as he's hitting the ball, there's our what I call impact fix. So Bryson's one of those players that sets up in the pre-setting what his impact positions are going to be like. And again, please review our other training videos, because it's important. If you took the impact snap and turned it a quarter turn and put the bar right up against your left wrist or forearm, then you'll see how the wrist conditions are actually going to stay the same. And an easy way to control your wedge distances is what I like to call waist high, chest high, and that's when the left wrist actually gets to about the height of your sternum. Shoulder high, when the left wrist gets as high as the right shoulder. And you'll notice how the wrist conditions really have not changed from setup all the way to beyond shoulder high, and then again throughout the motion. And why that's so important is because that makes it real easy when we isolate the left wrist. Makes it really easy to control distances from the standpoint that your power source, or sources I should say, would then become the bend point in your right arm or trailing arm, and then any amount of pivot or rotation you would have at the pelvis or at the chest. So you can clearly see he is returning to the same spot that he's starting on. I'm going to rewind the guy on the left. There's his start position. On the right, there's his impact position. So you know how important impact is in my teachings. It's everything, and then the next thing we're always looking for is that radius of the swing. So if the wrist conditions are staying the same, the radius is getting maxed out, and we take that measurement when the club's about parallel to the ground. You can see how Bryson, both arms are long, right wrist is still bent back, pelvis is turned, chest is turned, and makes it super, super easy to learn how to control your distances. So remember, impact fix setup, and using the impact snap. Watch our training videos if you haven't watched them already, because you could turn the impact snap a quarter turn toward the target, lock the bar right up against your forearm, and literally isolate the left wrist, because that's the one power source we are not looking for. I'm sure that this will help you control your distances with your wedges. Again, everyone stay safe. Find some productive time inside to do some practice and be productive. And until the next time, I'm Marty Nowicki from Impact Snap, signing off. What do your hands and arms look like right after you struck the golf ball? If they're bending all over the place, guess what? You have to film yourself and start correcting that. We have a product called the Impact Snap that trains your wrist to repeat a correct motion each time. Yellow ball hits the bottom of your arm, you're doing it correctly. Yellow ball misses your arm, you're flip rolling, changing your radius, changing all these measurements where the ball is. You want stability with your golf shots, you want consistency with your golf shot, you've got to get the wrist to repeat the same proper functions. ImpactSnap.com. Use promo code YouTube and save 15% today.